I'm Lauren from Pack Hacker, and in this video we're taking a detailed look at the Subtl Beauty Stak 2.0, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe so we can keep making content to help you travel smarter. Let's dive in. So this is the updated version of the original Stak, which we have previously tested, and there are a few differences which we'll get into in a little bit, but I want to kind of walk you through this new updated version because I think they made a lot of really awesome updates. So the actual container itself is just kind of made of like a little plastic material. I mean, if I tap it, you can kind of hear it. It feels super sturdy and durable though. One of the issues we had with the previous version was that when you would actually like twist it shut, that you could like over twist it or you can under twist it, and it was like got stuck sometimes. It was just a little bit hard to open and shut. With this here, they really perfected that, so it's super easy to get to whatever you want to within that stack, which is really awesome. I didn't really have any issues with anything like coming undone or anything like that. The other difference that they have is that this now includes a mirror. So if you want to open this up and use that as like a little compact, that's super great for that. So what I ended up doing was something that I would want access to during the day was the shine control powder. And so I put the shine control powder on the top because this lid is just like completely separate. So I just put, you know, the thing on top that I would want access to throughout the day. So I can just flip it open, use it, whatever, and then put it away. At the very bottom as well, similar to the other version, they have the brush at the very bottom. This brush is different. Before it was just like a little makeup pad. I find the brush way more functional. It just works a lot better for the makeup that's actually in this container here. So this comes out nice and easy. What I would do when I was actually like going to use this stack here, I would take this out and then I would just separate out like whatever I wanted to use. And so that's a nice, you know, functional thing. Another thing that I highly recommend is this dry brush cleaner. This is a separate add-on, but I found it super awesome for this brush here because it can be a little hard to get out if you don't get it out the right way. But this brush here, you're going to be using for everything in here. So I'm going to remove these stacks here, starting with this shine control powder. So I'll show you that. This is like a quick little powder there. The concealer, which is a like a liquid concealer. The blush, which is a powder blush. A lip and cheek color, which is similar to the concealer, that more like liquid. A highlighter, which is a powder similar to the blush. The bronzer as well, which is also a powder. Sorry about that beeping there. And then we have eyeshadow. So eyeshadow is the one thing that in this case had come actually broken. I was able to kind of pat it back in there, but this is kind of an example of the dangers of traveling with anything that's powder. So all of these, you know, like more liquid things are less likely to break than a powder. However, the powder I find lasts a little bit longer, and the pigmentation with this has been really great for me. So with this blush, for example, like I can do that, put a little on my hand there, like it builds pretty easily. And then when you're done, you use this little dry brush cleaner to actually brush it off. And then I actually have a paper towel over here to show you how there's not a ton of transfer. So you can see a little bit of color transferred, but I feel pretty comfortable going from one to the other. The other thing is that you can see when I use these powders, they just got a little bit messy. So it's just kind of the name of the game. Honestly, I think with this concealer too, even the concealer got around the edges a little bit. So it's not gonna be perfect, but I think for like the functionality that you have here of being able to like access all of these different types of makeups that you use either every day, or you can just like carry some of these and leave some other ones at home. It sort of depends on your preferences, but with this being like the size that it is, the customizability that you have, and the fact that the makeup just works pretty well, I think this is a really great option. In terms of packability, we haven't found anything that's really quite as compact as this. There are makeup palettes that you can use that really, I mean, honestly, it kind of depends on what your toiletry kit or your everyday bag looks like. But the customization ability of this particular stack here just really sort of makes it worth it, in my opinion. Its round shape can be a little bit tougher to pack. Sometimes we found that flatter items and like more squared off items are a little bit easier. But in general, I mean, this is, I mean, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 individual like types of makeup in the stack here, and it fits right in that little corner of this toiletry pouch. So this is something that originally would have taken up a lot more space. So if you can find shades that work for you with this brand, then I think that's going to be really awesome just for the packability alone. They don't have like a ton of variety when it comes to like concealer colors or like bronzer colors, but when it comes to like a highlighter or a lip and cheek or like eyeshadows, that you can usually get a little bit more versatility in that with skin tone. So you can buy as many or as few as you want and just really stack it to customize to your needs. In terms of other similar products, we have the original Subtle Beauty Stak here and then Alley Oops stack as well. So starting off with the original here, you can tell that it's just generally smaller. It's not quite as wide. And it's a little bit shorter, but it's only a little bit shorter right now because we have fewer of these individual sections in here. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the smaller one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So with 2 extra sections, you get a little bit of extra height, obviously, but if you look at the height of the individual sections here, they are roughly the same size. So I think overall this newer one is just a little bit better of a product. It just functions a little bit better, feels a little bit more solid. So if you do have this original here, I think you are in for a pretty solid upgrade if you get the new one once you run out. Plus these are refillable as well, so you can really just make use of the stack packaging that you have, which is really great. As for the Alley Oop, this one here does have a mirror on top, which is really great, and it slides out, which is kind of fun and satisfying. But as of right now, you can't customize this. So if you only need a couple of different things, it says on the bottom, or I thought it did actually, but it doesn't. It said like if you don't need everything here, then it's might not be as functional for you. But with the Subtle Beauty Staks, you can really customize what exactly you carry based off of what kind of makeup you wear every day, so it's not going to waste any space in your bag. So there you have it, the Subtle Beauty Stak 2.0. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.